So, hello, welcome back, and we're going to crack on today with number 5 of how a narcissist devalues you, and I'm going to share one tip with you on how to validate yourself in this particular video today. So number 5 is they make jokes at your expense. Now, when a narcissist does this, they're basically doing it to make themselves feel better because their own sense of self-esteem is so low, and they're always hiding behind this mask, pretending to be something they're not, but they're also doing it to belittle you, to undermine you in some way. Making fun of other people makes them feel superior, even if only for, the moment when the joke is made. And when this happens over and over again, especially if there's an audience watching, it creates an environment where everyone feels uncomfortable, but no one ever speaks up because maybe they don't want to get hurt themselves, or they don't want to risk losing their standing or whatever in some way. And another thing is people also just don't like getting involved in other people's relationships and other people's business. So when this happens, even though I said in a previous video that people will be embarrassed for the person who's doing it, not you, it still doesn't feel great. So that brings me to what you can do to validate yourself. So my advice here is the same as it was for when they talk over you, when I talked about that in the previous video. If you're in company, know that everyone sees them for what they are, but they're just not saying so, They're embarrassed themselves, they're embarrassed about the situation, but they're not, finding you embarrassing. So just remember that and kind of keep that perspective on it. Now, again, if it's private, this might sound silly, but don't take it personally because it's probably all lies and bullshit anyway. So instead, and remember we're talking about if they make jokes at your expense, you can try saying, "Well, that's not funny. Can you explain the punchline?" What I don't advise you to do is tell them that it was hurtful, because I've seen a lot of people advising on various platforms. Tell them it was hurtful. Tell them not to do that. No, don't do that. If you're dealing with a narcissist, telling them it was hurtful is wonderful news to their ears, because not only will it make them happy that they've hurt you, but they'll also log it for future reference. Yeah, she doesn't like that, or he doesn't like that. I'm going to do that next time. Do not tell them it was hurtful. That's absolute rubbish advice. Don't give them any more ammo. What you should do, I recommend, when they make these jokes at your expense, is immediately look very puzzled, as if you just don't understand what they're talking about. And ask them to explain themselves. What are you talking about? Was there a punchline there? What I miss? When you do that, you will usually rob them of any pleasure they'd hope to get out of it, okay? And remember to do this every time they try their stupid jokes. If they don't get a response from you, and you continue with this grey rock type tactic, they'll stop doing it, or they'll do it less, or at the very, very least, you will take any pleasure out of it for them, okay? And just remember, you should never be the brunt of anyone else's jokes, and especially not from the person who's supposed to love you or care for you. So remember that, okay? All right, I'll see you again soon for the next one. And the next one I'm going to talk about is, again, how they criticize you and put you down. And I've got another tip for you on how to validate yourself when that happens. So join me again soon. Bye for now.